Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Right Side Broadcasting Network. I'm Liz Willis, and I'm joined here by Georgia's next governor. At least I hope so, the one and only David Perdue. David, thank you for having us.
Oh, Liz, I'm glad to see you down at CPAC. Thanks for being here.
Of course. I'm glad we've made it this far. It's the final day. When did you get here, and what did you think of CPAC?
Well, I came in this morning. I'm overwhelmed every year by the enthusiasm and the dedication of all these people that show up from all over the country.
That's awesome. No, you missed a great night last night, but we're still thankful that you were able to make time. I know you're in the middle of campaigning right now. RSBN has covered a couple of those press conferences and stops, and they've been wonderful, but in the past, I guess we haven't followed y'all about it. We've given you about a week or two break from me, so how's the campaigning been going? Y'all had quite a tour, like a bus stop tour.
Yeah, we have since I announced December 6th, and since then we've been going all over the state. I have Trump's endorsement, so people are gratified to see that. Absolutely. And what we're doing is getting our message out that we have a divided party, and if we want to beat Stacey Abrams in the fall, we have to come together. And I'm running because I don't think our governor, who has divided the party, can or is willing to bring us back together.
Absolutely, and President Trump has been adamant about the current governor of Georgia right now. Not a big fan. We actually got a statement yesterday. You probably read it. I know you're familiar with the situation, but about Buckhead possibly seceding from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Do you have a thought?
Oh, I do. I said right away in December that these people, I trust the people in Buckhead. Look, the city of Atlanta tied last year with Chicago as the murder capital of America. Just this year, murders are up 70%, rapes are up 236%. The people in Buckhead just should have and have the right to vote on their own destiny and how they're going to be governed. So I fully support them having that vote.
I completely agree, and hopefully I'll be able to vote on that, and we can try and make it happen. I live in Buckhead, and it's crazy. I was just telling him before we got started that my dad at his home in Gwinnett County was robbed last night by 4 men with guns. So it's the first time that I have ever seen this, ever. I was born and raised there in Stone Mountain, no crime, and now this. So these statistics, they're very real, and it's very frightening.
Well, it's beyond just the statistics. It's people. It's human beings. And what's at threat here, when you defund the police, you put at threat the very fundamentals of a free society. And so the liberal left, this is what I ran against in 14 and again in 20, and what I'm running against right now, is the liberal left wants state control. On our side, we believe in economic opportunity for everybody, fiscal responsibility, limited government, and individual liberty. But you can't have any of that if we're not safe. And so that's a precept of the founding fathers and mothers of our country.
Has your campaign, are y'all doing anything differently than your previous campaign from 2020? Have you switched anything up? What's the game plan there?
Well, the game plan when you're running against an incumbent Republican governor, which nobody has ever done in the state of Georgia.
This is very unique.
It's very unique and very different. It's not in my nature to do that, but I decided that we were not going to beat Stacey Abrams with Brian Kemp at the head of the ticket. That means that we would lose a Senate seat and a lot of the statewide races as well. So what we're doing differently is we were not going to have the money he will have. So what we're doing is running a grassroots campaign. This is very much like what I did in 2014 when at this point in time I was only at 3% poll and what I think it was a 4% margin of error. So right now I'm being very gratified. Everybody that called us all last year and said you got to do this are now coming out saying we have got to have a change in Atlanta.
Absolutely. Now I noticed a couple of times, and I always like to keep an eye out for Georgia politics. President Trump called you out I feel like a couple of times at rallies, and he'd say, please run, David. Let me know when you're running. Yeah. So what was the deciding factor for you deciding, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to run to be Georgia's governor?
My wife and I really thought about it for months. We had a lot of people calling us. Honestly, it was outside my character to do this, but we finally realized, looking at the facts, that if Brian Kemp were able to pull us together, he would have already done it. And the reality is if we don't get pulled together like we did in 2020, I produced 480,000 more votes than Brian Kemp did in his race in 18. So we've already demonstrated we can pull it together. So that's what I finally decided was I didn't see anybody else stepping forward to actually pull us together and stand in the breach against this liberal onslaught headed up by Stacey Abrams.
Absolutely. Now, what exactly are you hoping to be able to provide and give and do for the people of Georgia when elected?
Well, this is what's so exciting. It's one thing to talk about 2020 and the election. One thing I want to do is bring voter integrity back. And to get that fixed,
that would be nice.
I've got to get elected. So what we have to do is get out and vote. You want to fix the voting integrity issue in Georgia, get out and vote. Elect me and we'll fix it. I want a law enforcement agency dedicated to election law enforcement. We've had laws, we just haven't enforced those laws. The next thing is I want parents to be in control of their curriculum of their schools for their children. The next thing is I really want us to be safe. Right now, that's a lack of attention of resources, people, and focus. And that a governor can take care of. There's no reason for your dad to feel unsafe in his home. I'm just telling you right now, the last thing I believe that we have to do is make Georgia more competitive. And to do that, I want to get rid of the state income tax. It's totally doable.
I want you to do that too.
9 other states have already done it.
I heard you say that at your last press conference. And what goes into being able to get rid of a state income tax?
Well, there's several steps. I have some of Trump's best economists that helped him in the White House, helped create this economic miracle that we're enjoying now. But what they're doing is we have to rationalize the sales tax credits and deduction. That's the first thing, is get the sales tax. The next thing is you can start phasing out the income tax. Let me give you an example. Right now we have a $4 billion surplus. We raise about $13 billion of the $30 billion budget. 13 of it comes from state income tax. Right now we have a $4 billion surplus. We could make that equate to about a 1-point cut in the permanent rate in Georgia in state income tax. That's the first step, and then we go from there.
I hope that you are elected for many reasons, but that one would be wonderful. I really hate taxes. So how can our viewers support you? What is the number? Is it donations? Is it social media?
There are two things. One, you got to get out and vote. We saw what happened in Georgia in November and in January when a lot of people got frustrated with the system and didn't come back out and vote. We can't do that again. Second, go to voteperdue.com. And there are plenty of ways on there you can help by making phone calls, making a small donation, anything to help us take this 20-year career politician and not let him turn Georgia into a Democratic stronghold.
You guys, vote Perdue, GA, right?
Voteperdue.com. And then the other is David Perdue, GA.
There we go. All right, last question, I promise. But it's been teased a little bit that President Trump is coming to Georgia and he's going to rally support for David Perdue. Is there any idea when that's going to be happening?
Well, we have early voting starting in early May. And so I can tell you it'll be around that time. He's going to do some tele-rallies, too. He loves these tele-rallies, and he can really get the people out for that. So he'll add a lot of energy in the state and in this primary, and I'm looking forward to having him in Georgia.
All right, well, I cannot wait for another Georgia rally and to continue supporting you. So thank you so much, David, and we wish you luck.
God bless you. Thanks.